I can predict for you how well kids are going to do on a test by and large. Lower income kids are going to do worse. Children of color are going to do worse. Children with special needs are going to do worse. English language learners are going to do worse. Because if you're of a certain class, of a certain community, if your parents are well educated, you're more likely to do better on the test. Standardized tests are created by third-party vendors, not teachers, not educators, third-party vendors who sell these tests to states. So it's a whole industry aligned to these standardized tests that, by the way, we've been implementing for 20 years, and the achievement gap has not closed at all.
I understand taking tests aren't fun. Too bad. We need to know in America. We need to know whether or not children have got the basic education.
When No Child Left Behind came, followed by Race to the Top, followed by ESSA, there was a lot of money invested in this industry and in the test prep industry as well. So you have these test prep industries that have grown 400% since No Child Left Behind. You have these third-party vendors creating these tests for school districts and states are forced to implement them. So it made a lot of people a lot of money. But then the charter school industry is also part of that money train as well, because the tests have been weaponized against teachers and schools and teachers' unions.
For too long, countless American children have been trapped in failing government schools.
The more you say a teacher is bad and a public school is bad, the more momentum you have to close that school. And when schools close, charter schools open.
A little more than a decade ago, only about 300,000 students were enrolled in charter schools nationwide. As their growth has soared, especially in cities, nearly 2 million students are now enrolled.
And though many of them are considered not-for-profit, they have privately elected school boards. They have a lot of private funding that's coming in. And through the federal new market tax credit, within 7 years of your investment in charter schools, you can double your money.
$500,000 for each Success Academy school, most of it from wealthy investors on Wall Street.
It is the hedge fund industry. It's a privatization movement, unregulated.
Research shows us that more testing doesn't close gaps. It's a focus on early childhood education, formative assessment, teacher training and development, and project-based learning that does. This directly aligns to New Deal policy, because the New Deal redlined communities and starved them of resources. I used to work at a school where we had no windows in classrooms. And that's where you see the low test scores, in redline communities, right? So when we talk about a new deal for public schools, getting rid of standardized tests and the way we implement them, it's about reimagining and redesigning all of it in alignment with racial justice.